No problem, man. Okay, hey, I am having a quick little hangout. This probably won't be very long, maybe an hour or so. Brian Sapient from the Rational Response Squad will be joining us at 5 o'clock. He'll be talking about his role in the Blasphemy Challenge, if you guys remember that, and the whole fiasco with the debate that he had with Kirk Cameron and Ray Comfort. And it wasn't a fiasco on his end. He did it exceptionally well. The evangelist side, however, they were basically flailing idiots. This is where King Crocoduck got his famous name from, because this is when Kirk Cameron thought that evolution would predict something along the lines of a mixture of a crocodile and a duck. So, yeah, for those of you guys who do remember this, I'm kind of looking for people that are remembering back in the day of this. This was big news. I mean, Brian Sapient had been on Lower Ingram. I'd watched that. He's been on many other channels promoting atheism, and he hasn't been around for like 10 years. So it's one of those gone but not forgotten things. So I was thinking, if people do remember the Rational Response Squad, do remember that video where he debated Ray Comfort, and want to come in and talk to him, I need some panelists. King Crocoduck has to work tonight, or definitely had been here, so he can't make it. I might ask Vadim if he wants to. I don't know if he even knows. I don't know if they know each other, but I don't know. So anyways, I got the link available. I'm not giving it out for obvious reasons. One, cameraman doesn't work anymore for some reason. It's broken. And two, there are snipers and bombers coming around. So I'm just going to give the link to anybody who asks me that I know. And all you got to do is send me a message for that. So, Jimmy,
that was on Nightline, right?
Yeah, he was been on Nightline too, I believe. Yeah, he's been on a few different programs. Like I said, he was one of the big push back in the day when YouTube wasn't as big as what it was, right? I mean, we had talked about this the other day. Breaking into YouTube now is a hell of a lot more difficult than it was 7 to 10 years ago. So these guys were the plank holders, the foundationalists, the people that started this whole movement on rationalization. And even though I don't agree with Brian on everything, I talked to him for a good 40 minutes the other day. Really nice guy. I don't agree with him on his version of what atheism means, but he's civil about it. We had a great dialogue. But I do accept his wanting to have rationalization and science and that kind of stuff 1,000-fold, right? I do agree with him on that. So it's one of those, I don't have to agree with somebody all the way just to think that they're making an impact and they're doing something beneficial to society, right? But how much do you guys do remember from the Blasphemy Challenge? Do you guys remember what it was? Either you? Eulogy?
Sorry, just got in.
I haven't actually been here long enough to actually know this guy. So
yeah, you're one of the newer ones. So
I remember the
Blasphemy. But
is that was the one where they were challenging people to say the unforgivable sin, right?
Yeah, what it was basically, and I think they don't have theological standing for it, but I think the concept, it's just a concept thing. But they were trying to say, videotape yourself denying the Holy Ghost, rejecting the Holy Ghost, saying that you don't, believe in the Holy Ghost, that kind of stuff. And that of the Bible is supposed to be the unpardonable sin. However, most Christians pretty much don't think that's what that is. They actually think the unpardonable sin is either Jesus performing miracles and then claiming that they were from demonic origin, that's unforgivable, or knowing God exists without question and then denying his existence like Satan, or denying his grace or whatever. That's what they consider to be the whole blasphemy of the Holy Ghost. So I don't think that it's really much biblical reason to stand on, but then again, who knows when it comes to the Bible, right? But I get the sentiment. I mean, he wants atheists to come out and feel like they're able to come out without being judged or persecuted. And I get that, because his concern with me was like, I told him about my position. He's like, are you worried about the stigma of being called an atheist? I'm like, oh, absolutely not. If I was an atheist, I would take it and wear it with pride. But I have to be true to myself, and that's not my theological position, right? And first of all, I'm not adverse to controversy. I was like, have you seen my channel? He's like, yeah. I was like, he actually has. So he actually loved some of my videos. He loved especially the one I did, the part 1, 2015 greatest hits. He was rolling. He thought that shit with Christian Hillbilly was just hilarious.
Hey, matter of fact, I put the link in the chat, in the side chat. But if you want to put the link to the original YouTube video of his debate with Kirk Cameron, you can put that in the live chat so people can see it.
I didn't though. Maybe I'll get to it in a little while. I probably should, so people can kind of refresh themselves.
Yeah, because I put it in the side chat so you guys can see it.
His best debate. Oh, sorry.
It's in the eternal chat. If you look in the eternal chat, you'll see it.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that in the live feed right now. Actually,
I think his best debate was the one with Ray Comfort.
What's that?
His best debate was the one with Ray Comfort. They annihilated.
Yeah.
That's
the Ray Comfort.
Yeah,
debate.
that was on Nightline. That's what
Slick,
you guys was talking about. Yeah.
Matt Slick. No, the Matt Slick one I meant.
Yeah, he definitely knows Matt Slick.
No, that debate he had with him, they destroyed Matt Slick. Matt Slick couldn't even talk. He didn't even know what to do. I mean, they destroyed him. That's the best debate.
Is your volume way low, Tony?
I don't know.
It's just me. You sound really hollow.
Oh, wait. My microphone's in my shirt. Is that better?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah,
isn't his
definitely knows
definition
Matt Slick.
Isn't his definition of atheism a little different than yours, Steve? Because I think he's on the more of the whole atheism is a lack of belief. Where I believe you're in a knowledge-based claim versus belief.
Yeah. He like I said, we talked for a good 40 minutes or so, and he definitely was listening to where I was coming from, and he definitely didn't say I was like completely hosed. I listen to what he has to say. I think what it is he has the position that, you know what, you don't have to really be that much into philosophy to just say, you know what, God doesn't exist, and the rest is calling it all academic. And I kind of get where he's coming from on that, right? My reasoning of him was just look at, you do have people nowadays that are going against much more versed theists, much more versed presuppositionists, even though that's like a crap thing, and he hates presuppositionalism, by the way. But I think that the philosophically naive atheist that goes against somebody like Matt Slick is going to get destroyed, or some other people. And so if they don't have an understanding of what types of atheism are out there, positive or negative, and what the difference is, they're going to come across as little naive. And I don't say that you have to accept one or the other to be an atheist. Both positions are atheistic. But I always argue that the positive assertion that God doesn't exist is a stronger position for an atheist, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah, I do agree. But like yesterday, I think the other day, I was having an argument with Darwin's Dede about this, and I asked him to define theism, and he defined theism as the belief in a God. And I would suppose that would be your definition too, no?
Yeah, theism is actually the belief in a deity or deities. That's really what it's defined as. I mean, that's what Wikipedia has it as.
Yeah. So if I negate your definition, it would be the disbelief or non-belief in a deity, correct?
Well, the rejection would be, the negation would be, I believe God exists, would be a theist. I believe God does not exist. That's the negation of that. And that's what I was trying to explain to him. When you move the negator and you say, I believe God exists, and you move the negator before that and say, I do not believe that God exists, you're not really doing a true negation, in my opinion. The negation is, I believe this, or I believe this, not this. That's the true negation. Right, because all atheists lack a belief. Right?
Well, there's one.
Whether you assert God doesn't exist, all atheists lack a belief.
It seems to be a negation between a negation of the verb and a negation of the noun. Belief is a verb, so if you negate the verb, I do not believe versus I do believe, I think that's the true negation of a belief claim. But then if you're talking about I do not, if you're saying I do, how did you say I reject the claim?
No, if you do it propositionally, I believe God exists. The negate that is I believe God does not exist. You're referring to his existence, not to your belief. Both of them are your belief positions.
See, and this is where I think we disagree, because what I'm doing is negating the action, the belief. I do not believe versus I do believe, and whatever the subject is, could be X or Y or whatever, instead of God, then I believe that's a proper negation of a belief claim. No, I believe versus I do not believe.
I believe not X. X is the proposition. You have to negate the proposition. I believe X. I believe not X. You don't negate the verb. So in propositional logic, you'd be absolutely wrong, right? I think about it. I believe X is proposition.
If the question is, do you believe? If the question theism, do you believe in X? And you say I do not believe in X. I think that's a proper negation. I don't understand how that would not be a proper negation.
Because you're moving the negator to the other side of the equal sign. If you do it if you break it down. You have to negate the proposition, X or not X. That's a true dichotomy. So it's I believe X, I believe not X. Yeah. Ober says Steve McRae is 100% right. Thank you, Ober. But hey, you know what? You know, I've had this discussion with Ozzy so many times. I've got this down to an art form, right? And anything that Ozzy says, you know, is just golden. So whatever.
Yeah, I always thought it was a negation of the truth.
By the way, anybody who sees officially Lookapig or Lookapid in the live feed, just remove him on the spot. He is a sniper, and I have no tolerance for him. He's sniped my hangout many, many times. So just block him on the site, please. If you see anybody with Lookapig, he's gone. Okay? Thank you.
Let's destroy him.
Right.
Yeah.
Destroy him.
Destroy him. Yeah, I always thought it was a negation of the truth claim, too. I'm learning.
Yeah, well, it's not a negation of the truth claim; it's a negation of the proposition. But anyways, I mean, it's getting sidetracked. You know, like I said, we discussed that a little bit, but I mean, atheism to me, I'm not so much concerned about how somebody defines atheism. I'm looking more of the skeptical position that I'm more interested in, right? Because if you're going to promote science, you got to have the methodological naturalistic approach. You got to, and I think all this science rallies we're having, which by the way, I was right on. I told you there'd be a backlash for Trump's anti-science policies. Did I not? Did I not tell you guys that?
Yeah, you did say that. You did.
I did
call
say
it.
that,
Yeah.
and I called that one. I knew it, and I'm glad that it had a positive impact by people getting out there and telling people, look, at facts are facts. Beliefs don't change facts. You can believe whatever the hell you want, but it's not going to change reality. And I think that needs to be just drilled into people's heads. You know, that evolution and things like that. These are facts, and I don't care what your belief is. You cannot change facts with just wishful thinking.
Yeah, that shows that we're in the right direction, you know? I mean, that we are all heading in the right. Well, I mean, I think that people's eyes are opening up, though. I mean, they see that there is science is legitimate. It's valid, you know?
Yeah, no, it's a start.
Yeah,
it's a start. And psychopath atheist. By the way, psychopath atheist. Do you want a link? I'll get you in here. I don't think you're right. Psychopath atheist. I know what you're trying to say, but I think unfortunately you're kind of parroting the party line. Agnosticism is a belief claim. It is not a knowledge claim. Agnosticism is the belief claim that you don't know how to evaluate the proposition or you suspend judgment on it. Agnosticism is not making a knowledge proposition. I'm not saying that I know something one way or another, unless you want to extend it to Huxley and agnostics. You could make an argument that Huxley and agnostics say there's no way you can know whether God exists or not. I don't follow that. I don't think you can make that. I don't think you can meet your burden of justification from that. Even Xbox admits that's a very hard burden to make, but he is a Huxleyan agnostic. But yeah, Gnosticism is a position on the Dasastic belief claim of God's existence. So
No, I don't know. I just got to go on record to say it. Gnosticism, I thought, is a knowledge claim versus a belief claim. It seems like we're just getting all this mixed up, and maybe it's just because we're using different definitions for the words.
Well, what happens is you people like Matt Dillahunty and Aaron Rogg use the very colloquial things, and they people like Bionic Dance, who nobody can stand, and even worse was Forbidden Fruit. They kind of promoted this whole different way of looking at atheism in order to try to put more people under the umbrella, but philosophically speaking, they were unsound. The knowledge claim, if I make a knowledge claim, for example, like the agnostic atheism, right? That's what like Brian likes to call himself. It's superfluous because almost all atheists are agnostics on the knowledge claim, right? They say, I believe God doesn't exist, but they don't say that they know that one way or another. Some do. I think they have a very, very high burden, but for the most part, most atheists are agnostic when it comes to that. But agnosticism itself, the coined word, literally meant somebody who suspends judgment on the propositions, right? I don't know how to answer that. So if you want to make it into a knowledge thing, it's I don't know how to answer. That's why it's a knowledge-based thing, but it's not knowledge as in I don't know God exists or I don't know God does exist. It's just I don't know how to answer the proposition more than anything else.
All right, yeah. Right. Maybe this might be my own ignorance.
We'll get you there.
When someone says I believe is different than I know, and I'm using synonyms for belief as ism, theism versus atheism, belief claims versus agnosticism, which is knowledge. I know God exists. I do not know God exists. So I believe in that proposition. You can be, there's no way you can be a Gnostic atheist. You can't know God exists but not believe it. That doesn't make
No,
sense.
you can't. No,
because knowledge
that's
is a subset of belief.
no.
Knowledge is a subset of beliefs. So
That's
you
not
can,
what it
so
means.
because that's kind of how I'm understanding it.
No, that's not what it means, though. You could be an agnostic atheist. I just think it's superfluous, and I think it's a kind of a poor way to describe yourself.
No, I'm saying Gnostic atheist. A Gnostic
Oh,
atheist. Someone who
Gnostic
says, "I
atheist.
know God exists, but I still am an atheist. I don't believe."
No, that's not
because
what Gnosticism
it's
is
not
either.
possible. Exactly.
No,
I'm saying that would be impossible to do. But I believe you can be agnostic theist, someone who believes in God but doesn't know that God exists. I believe, but I just don't know.
Well, yeah, but that's most people. Most people have a belief. When you're asking somebody's belief, you don't care what they know or not. You're asking them just what they believe are, right? You're not really asking them about a knowledge claim. It's not an epistemic claim. I mean, there are Gnostic theists out there. Those are basically a Gnostic theist, which somebody says, I am like absolutely sure that God exists, right? 100% sure that God exists. That's what a Gnostic theist would say, right? But there can be a Gnostic atheist. A Gnostic atheist would be somebody who says, I'm certain God does not exist, because you're asserting a knowledge condition with your belief. That is a Gnostic atheist. I am certain there's no God. A knowledge came. I know there's no God. I think there's a very, very high level of burden of proof on that, though.
Yes, I agree. I think if you say there's a God, you have an extreme. But then I'm not understanding how that equates to not being able to justify a belief claim when saying I don't believe in something. It's hard to justify that you don't believe in a claim.
Right, but if I say I don't believe in something, I'm not telling you what I do believe. I want to know what you believe is in respect to the proposition of God's existence.
So if someone
I
says,
want to know what you believe.
But that's just like saying if someone says there's pink unicorns and I say I don't believe you, and then it's like, well, what do you believe at this position? I haven't put forth any belief claim. I'm just rejecting the one that you've put forward to me. I'm saying I don't believe it.
Right, and that's the problem of just having this lack of a belief position. Lack of belief. An agnostic has a lack of belief. They're both non-theistic, right? Because the direct negator of theism is non-theism. That's the logical negation. Both atheism and agnosticism fall into that. So when I ask somebody, do you believe in God? And they say, well, I don't believe something. That doesn't tell me about what they do believe, right? Because I literally with agnosticism, I would say I don't believe in God, but that doesn't tell me if I'm atheist or not, because it is a lack of belief position. Just like what they want to call weak atheism as agnosticism, they want to kind of make them see like the same thing. And I guess some ways they are, but agnosticism is an actual position on the proposition, while weak atheism is just saying, I don't believe in something. But I don't care what you don't believe. I want to know what you do believe. But anyways,
this is what I'm talking about with the question. Yeah,
whatever.
But this is what I'm talking about. Just even with the question, if you ask the question is put upon is, do you believe in X? And you say no, you don't believe in. It's like I don't know, like, how do I have to now tell people what I believe in to tell them that I don't believe in their proposition? That seems to be the point that seems to be tagging on to the belief claim. Someone comes to you with a claim X, and you say I'm not convinced of claim X, and now, even though I'm not telling you what I do believe in, it's because we're not talking about anything else. We're just talking about the claim that you've presented to me, not any other claim that you've made or any other claim that could be made.
Yeah, and I get that, but it's still it is literally asking you what you believe, and by saying what you don't believe, you're not giving an answer what you do believe. Now, again, there's other answers you can give. Gnosticism isn't telling people what you do believe in regards to the proposition, but it does answer the question of what your belief is in reference to the proposition, right? If I say I believe, I don't know one way or another, I am giving you my belief proposition, my belief claim. I believe I have no way to be able to tell whether God exists or not. Okay, but am I answering the question? Does God exist? Yes. It may not be the people's liking, but there's more answers than just theist or atheist, right?
I agree. I think if you say that you're agnostic, you could believe in God, or you may not believe in God. That doesn't stop either one. But I think if you say you're an atheist, you're technically agnostic. You're the only thing you could be is agnostic in that.
Yes, I totally disagree with you 1,000%. If you say you're atheist, you are saying you believe God does not exist. You're making a positive claim. If you say you're agnostic, you don't know either way. You don't believe God exists or he doesn't exist. You don't know. That's how it's used in philosophical terms.
So if you come and ask
everybody
me,
in the live
do
is agreeing with me right now, by the way.
No, they could.
I'm trying to.
I'm just trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to figure it out because I've always understood it. A belief claim. Somebody asks me, do you believe in something? I say no. And then if someone says, do you know something? I still say no. There are two different two different claims on two different.
You can say no. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You can say no. If I say, do you believe God exists? Right? Or does God? The better proposition is, does God, and I mean God or gods. Okay, I'm just simplifying it. Does God exist? And you answer no. Guess what? You're an atheist.
I've made a positive claim. No, if someone says, does God exist, and I say no, I've made a positive claim. That is a positive claim. If someone says, do you believe God exists? I think that's a little different.
Tyler's the one that disagrees, or just says it needs more nuance. But Tyler, you do agree with me. You just
Maybe.
don't know it. Tyler does agree with me. I think you want to come in here and tell me otherwise, Tyler, but I think you do agree with me. But anyways, so do you guys remember this whole Blasphemy challenge thing? Do you remember back in the day when YouTube, like I said, was a lot smaller and you get 1 million views, and nowadays you have to, like, I don't know what the hell you got to do to get 1 million views. It'll never happen on any of my videos, that's for sure. But
it was a news report about it and everything. It was on Good Morning America that people were doing this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was all over the news. People were like, atheism are making these videos saying, I deny the Holy Ghost. And I think it was a brilliant marketing strategy to be not self-aware, but to bring awareness to the atheist movement. I think that was brilliant upon their thing, even though I don't think it was theologically sound. I can understand the reasoning behind doing it, right? Yeah. Hey Tyler, Tyler Durden's in the live feed. Hey, did you find that interesting little exchange with who was it that didn't understand LaVeyan Satanism? Who was that? Refresh my memory. Some people don't understand LaVeyan Satanism. I don't know why it's such a difficult concept. LaVeyan Satanism is a religion that doesn't believe in supernatural beings, doesn't believe in a God or Satan. It is a metaphorical construct. It is a symbol that's mainly used to mock some of the insanity of Christianity. I don't know why people seem to think that's something very difficult to grasp. They're like, oh, Satanists worship the devil. No, they don't, because they don't believe in a devil. You can't worship something you don't believe in, right? Unless you're G-Man, in that case, or Veckel. But
it's funny. We should do like a little an actual video, like a topic on this, because it seems like there was a lot of intrigue in the side chat about this particular topic.
On what atheism or
no? Just what we were talking about, because it's funny because everything else.
Videos on that, dude. Are you kidding? Where the hell you been last year or two?
That's true.
In fact, those were my most watched videos, was on atheism, and the most disliked videos because atheists didn't like what I had to say on it, even though I would have Ozzy come in and explain it. And JD Kane agrees with me. Most atheists I know agree with me. There are a handful that don't, but they are the most vitriolic, and they get vicious about it sometimes.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting vicious. I totally I totally disagree. I just, I'd like to understand the other position, because it seems like we're just using the words differently.
Well, would you be willing to open your mind and kind of go, okay, let me look at it from a philosophical point of view? Because I can show you propositions.
No, that's the reason.
Okay.
That's exactly the reason why I was even asking the question, because again, my position can definitely be changed on this, but I just wanted to understand it a little bit more.
Yeah, don't feel bad. Alex,
that's for a different date.
On this too, I think. I don't know. I don't know if he fully agrees with me or not on it. It's hard to nail Alex down on it. But anyways, going back to the whole point of the hangout here, because we only have, I don't know, an hour or so to go, but who wants to come in to be a panelist to talk to Brian and kind of ask him about how things were 10 years ago as compared to now? I mean, have we made any progress against bad science? Because that's all I'm concerned about. You guys know I don't give a shit if you're an atheist or a theist. It makes no difference to me, right? I care if you have rational thought. I care if you can promote rational arguments. And the fact that we have such a resurgence of things like flat Earth, young Earth creationism, what I actually think is going down now, but and just silly ass conspiratorial science, intelligent design. I think there has to be a backlash, like we see with the science rallies in the last couple of days, and from the people on YouTube. I think everybody has to be coming back into the community to try to fight this monster again. As a matter of fact, King Crocoduck just put out a video today. He's back for a little while, putting out going to put out some videos on science again. I'm thrilled to death that he's going to be doing that because he does such an exceptional job. He's also going to make a video putting a shout out to multiple channels, including my own. Yes. So
that's awesome. I'd like to ask him how things have changed in the past 10 years. Because 10 years ago, if you said you're an atheist, you was like a huge thing, and that's why they was like you're the worst person on earth. And I think like David Silverman and these other guys really put themselves out there. Chris Hitchison, Dawkins, and now it's online. It seems to be a lot more atheist online that because you have the freedom to speak your mind. So I'd like to see his perspective on how it was 10 years ago and how it was today.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, these people that were able to speak their mind were trendsetters. They were people that were willing to take the bullets because back then you were shunned if you were an atheist. I mean, even coming out from the 50s and 50s, you were an atheist. You were shunned, right?
You couldn't get a job sometimes. Yeah. It was really bad.
So I don't know if there's such a stigma as much as it is today. I don't think so, but I don't know. I'm not an atheist, so I don't see it I mean, I get enough shit just by saying that I'm anti-young Earth creationist, right? Or anti-intelligent design. So
that's true. But I think most of your followers they always lump you into the atheist camp, no matter what you say. G-man, true empiricism. You if you're not an atheist, they would be shocked, even though you're not an atheist. But no. They're just convinced that you are. So
well, like I said, G-man just does it for the show. By the way. I've just been watching some old shit on G-Man just recently. Sapient Atheist, if you guys ever watched his videos, has some brilliant
some good stuff.
G-Man. And I knew about them. I'd seen them before, but there's something you just have to go back and watch every so often, right? And Sapient Atheist, I don't know if you ever listen to my stuff, but Jesus Christ, I love your stuff. I just never want to get on your bad side. I don't want things stuck up my ass. But he's brutal. The motherfucker is brutal. Do you see what he did with like Kirk, TJ Kirk, and Jacqueline Glenn? Holy shit. Yeah. He's just don't fuck with Satan.
Yeah, he ripped into G-Man.
Yeah, he did.
He ripped into him. And I love that little dance he does in the intro, but he does 2 steps and then squats and
yeah.
to go with the beat. I love that.
I don't know how he can do Flash so well. I don't know.
Yeah. He did the same thing with Brett Keane too. That was so great.
Yeah, all the rhapsodies, Well, I just had Jason Burns in here the other day, so it's funny. They're starting to come back out of the woodwork too. What's the next? Brett Keene's going to start popping in again, and Nephilim Free.
Well, I'm glad he got his channel back because I remember the YouTube had got rid of his channel. So Sapient Atheist was lucky that so many people came to his support.
Yeah, I had actually messaged him over that, and I had actually told him, I said, "Dude, I'm so glad you're back." Because that's just complete bullshit, and he was appreciative of that. So he likes hearing things like that, I can't find you anyways. Justin wants me to add him, but I can't find him. You're gonna have to add me. You're gonna have to message me if you want added to the Hangout. So, but who wants to be a part of this panel when it comes gets up here?
Yeah, that's where I just was. I went back to listen to the Matt Slick debate really quick, the intro, because I couldn't remember his name. Rook Hawkins. That's Rational Response Squad, the history guy. That guy, he's a beast. I would love to. Yeah, I wanted to ask a couple questions about the way that they go about destroying the history of the Bible. I love the way that they dissect it. I mean, they make it to the point where there were religions before Christianity, and they have proof. And that Rook Hawkins guy, he throws it down. That's why Matt Slick got stumped.
Yeah, they make some pretty good arguments. I listened to Brian on the Lauren Ingram show. Skylar was listening to it too. We're kind of listening at the same time. Don't ask. We just sometimes do things together, you know. We're kind of gay like that.
Sometimes I like to imagine holding your hand while we're
and
watching
soft
this together.
lighting, sipping wine.
Yeah. Sunset background.
Oh my god, it's so romantic. And did you agree, Skylar, that Laura didn't fucking have a clue?
Bro, she doesn't know scripture at all. Like I wish like he would have got a little bit more detail. I mean, I know it's on the spot and it's kind of a hard thing to do, but like as soon as like she played dumb about the things he was bringing up about the flood or like and other things God had done in the Bible, the Old Testament, like, and he'd just been like, well, let's talk about this here, this chapter, like because then it's like like that I think that really would have hit her hard, but. It
was painful, and then she started talking about like Christian missionaries, and he just eviscerated her on that.
Yeah, talking about values and stuff like that. Like, like it basically, she was just kept. Well, where does that come from? And where, it's like just why don't you just ask where does everything come from instead of like playing this game where you're like, well, where does that come from? And that like just be like, where does everything come from? Then we can just say, I don't know.
That's exactly what she was doing. Well, we have morals. Where do they come from? Well, we have biological. Where did that come from? Oh, the earth formed. Where did that come from? Oh, the universe. Where did that come from? It's like, oh my God, you're so damn dishonest. And I like Lauren Ingram in some ways. I did used to listen to her quite often. But when her or Sean Hannity, any of these guys get into their theological aspects when they start running that shit, they all just so bad at it.
It's just arguments from ignorance. That's their whole thing. Arguments from even when Bill O'Reilly did it to David Silverman. Exactly. How do you know this? How do you know this? It's all an argument from ignorance. We know because God.
Yeah, tides go in. Yeah, tides go in. Tides go out.
They don't get that though. I mean, how is it they're so oblivious to their running arguments from ignorance or God of the gaps? How? You know what?
I think you have to think about it like this, Steve. It's like even with the moral argument. When I was in True's room the other day, he asked, he was just like, can't you guys understand that God can do whatever to their creations? And it's like a Christian has to see another theology to understand it. For instance, when I told him, I said, well, Muhammad married one of his wives when she was like 6 years old or something like that. I said, you Christians think that's immoral. Everybody agreed it's immoral. But I was like, but from the Muslim perspective, you're in Saudi Arabia, you believe this all his life, and if somebody told you that's immoral, you would say, no, obviously it's not. This is Muhammad. He's, the man. He can't do anything immoral. And I said, that's the way atheists see the atrocity in Christianity, just the way you guys see the things that happen in Islam. And that gave them some agreement to like, okay, well, now we understand from your perspective why this is like this way. But obviously their God can do whatever they want. So, it's all right as long as God does it. That's more or less the whole thing.
Yeah, and that to me is a little disturbing. It's all of a sudden they can kind of justify anything if they just attribute that to a deity. It's kind of like this. Did you guys see the post I posted just recently? I was going to make a little video about it, but I guess I'm not. Apologia can do it or something. But there was a tweet that Creationist Museum put out where they were talking about, did you guys, something like, do you know that we have scooters and wheelchairs for rent at the Creationist Museum? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? They're renting wheelchairs. They're profiting off people's disability as a Christian organization. And somehow they think that's okay that God allows that.
That's terrible.
Explain this one to me, because I don't get it.
That is so terrible. Any other association would totally do it for free. They would totally donate it. And that's a fact, I mean, who wants to profit off of renting wheelchairs? That's insane.
I don't think people don't understand it.
Well, maybe because I know some places they rent baby carriages, and the baby carriages they have are a little different because they have like extra packaging and everything. I think if you need a wheelchair, you're probably going to go there with your own wheelchair. But maybe they might have the motorized one or something that maybe I hate making excuses for them, but that's what I kind of think it is. I don't think it's just like, hey, if you crawl to the Creation Museum and need a wheelchair, they're not going to give you a wheelchair.
You know what? I don't think they will. I mean, you go to a market and you can get a scooter, and they're free.
Yeah,
okay, they're free. You don't rent them.
Yeah, at Publix when you go to the store. You drive one all over the place.
I mean, this is a Christian organization. I'm sorry. I just have an issue with this. I really fucking do. You're charging somebody because of a disability.
I like how you pick up the nuances. That was like, I would have never even thought about that. That's a good point, though. That's a good point.
I thank you. I thought it was too.
I love that Publix shout out right there because Publix is like the best grocery store ever.
Publix
Sorry.
is buy one get one.
Oh
free.
yes. Oh my god.
I don't have we don't have those down where I'm
Oh,
Oh, they're the best.
it's probably
Oh
not
my
even south
God.
before this.
at. Really? We have Winco. I like Winco.
We
Do
got
they have
those
buy one, get one
Publix
free?
subs, man. Those Publix subs, man.
Yes, the Publix subs are great. They are.
Yeah,
Sorry,
me-
I'm gonna derail. derail this
You know what's
conversation.
really good? You know what's
Yeah.
really good? Costco fucking pizza. Oh my god, do they make amazing pizza for being Costco?
Costco pizza, huh? No, we
Try it. Seriously, it's freaking awesome.
got Sam's Club.
Yeah, similar stuff. Sam's Club, Costco. They're both good.
Everything's so cheap.
Yeah, Publix sounds like a body part for some reason to me. I don't know why.
It's like,
Hey, I love going down and checking out your Publix.
yeah, right. You got the best Publix.
The mound of Publix. So nobody's messaged me so far that they want to be on this panel here besides MP. So, and Skylar, if you can make it.
Well, I mean, I'd like to. I mean, I've seen everything they do. I mean, I would be respectful and stuff. I mean,
All right, so there's 3 here, but
I just don't know what to ask them. I've always seen.
Well, it's not them, it's him. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be Kelly. She doesn't do this stuff.
Well, you should watch the video. There's a link in the internal chat. Watch the video because it was him and a girl versus Kirk Cameron and what's his name? The Banana Man.
Matt,
Ray Comfort.
Ray Comfort. Yeah.
No, the best one's against Matt Slick. If you ever want to see Matt Slick just like bow out and just get destroyed, he does it in that one. He gets destroyed.
Yeah, he had asked me. He said, "Hey, I saw your video, Matt Slick. Who thinks this guy's educated or something like that?" And now, because I mentioned Matt Slick, and he said, "But you sound like you wanted to have him back on or something." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? He was cool to talk to." I said, "Don't get me wrong. He is one of the most duplicitous people around. He is not an honest person, in my opinion, or moral." And
Did you see?
He agreed with me on that at least. So he's like, "No, I can see where you're coming from on that." So, I mean, yeah.
Did you see his debate with him and Ken Hovind? And Ken Hovind was calling him heresy. He believes in heresy and all this other stuff. And Matt Slick was like getting all upset at him. It was crazy. It was the no true Christian fallacy that came to light.
It was Matt Slick and Ken Hovind?
Matt Slick versus Ken Hovind. And
When did this happen?
I got to put the link in the slide check. But
Lies.
literally, Ken
Lies.
Hovind was calling him he's like, you've got heretical views. This is heresy. This is not right. Blah blah blah. And Matt Slick was like, you got to stop saying I believe in a false god. You got to it really got to the point where it was like really really bad. It was between they were debating Calvinism, so it was like the whole hour of them just screaming at each other. But the end, they said they're going to do it again.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, there's only so much of the pie to go around, and Hovind is in it for the money, as we found out just recently with Theodore Valentine, his right-hand man, that guy that actually started the freekenhovind.com campaign. He's come right out and said, Hovind is a fraud. Hovind is a scam artist. But Theodore doesn't seem to understand that young earth creationism is a scam. He hasn't gotten to that point yet. Wyatt Minkus knows him very well. They're friends. And Wyatt's still trying to, process all this because he's really good friends with Ken Hovind. And I haven't really touched too much with Wyatt on it. Wyatt told me to call him, but I'm letting him kind of sort it out first. But yeah, Wyatt's starting to crack a little bit. I think he's realizing that Hovind is a con man, like we've been telling him. So there's only so much of these people that can go around for so much revenue, right? So Matt Slick has to get a piece of the suckers. And Ken Hovind has to get a piece of this.
So true.
Right?
Right.
And I'm not talking about people that are religious. I'm talking about the people that are just fucking irrationally original.
Yeah, like Psy 10. Like Psy. Like Psy had his year of in and out his fame, and then he's gone. What does he do now? He doesn't do shit.
He does. I think he does street epistemology.
But yeah, that's where you go when you've been destroyed everywhere else. You go to the street.
Yeah, you know what? He never recovered off the Matt Dillahunty debate.
Oh, that was great.
He never recovered.
Yeah, he never recovered off of that.
Nope.
Yeah, he debated himself in that one, really.
It's kind of like Ronnie. He's never recovered since his debate with me. It's actually been Antonio getting more views than Ronnie.
I was listening to
Antonio somewhat coherent. You can actually listen to him. He's wrong, but at least you can understand what he's saying without it being rambling incoherent. Yeah.
The only time I'll listen to Ronnie is when he has something in there interesting to listen to. Like Alex, I'll listen to that kid. And he had like 50 people watching when Alex was talking, but as soon as that was done, it went down like 20 or something. When he has Darwin's in there, nobody pays attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darwin's act, I think, is just about done. Like it was interesting at first, and it was kind of like the train wreck you had to kind of watch. But now at this point, I think the interest is gone. It's more just annoying now.
Yeah,
it's
because
just like I don't want to hear this. Yeah.
It's like watching the same train wreck and rewinding it and watching it again and rewinding it and watching it again. It's just...
Well, Brian won't even engage with presuppositions anymore. And I don't blame him at all. There's a point you got to say, you know what, you're just dishonest if you run presup, and I really don't want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, that's why I like Brian, right? Because he's just like, okay, that's over, that's done. Because really, I mean, it shouldn't even be allowed, really, but it's the last line of defense. They have nothing else, so now they just got to say, I win because I win. God,
do you think they're in their death throes?
I think so. I don't. It just seems like that's because now they're just dissecting the way you word things and phrase things. Yeah, that's about it.
Precept is always going to be around because it's the last refuge of a bad argument, and as long as people can still use it effectively, they're going to, that's the only thing they really have, because it's designed not to win an argument but to shut your mouth. If you can't tell me how this happens, and it's the same argument just repackaged. Bill O'Reilly, how does the moon go around the earth? This guy, what the heck came before the Big Bang? And their argument is, how do you account for the laws of logic? It's all arguments from ignorance. And if you don't know and you can't explain, like one time in Darwin's Hangout, I was like, if you've literally asked me to explain how the universe came into existence and what justifies the laws of logic, and if I don't know that answer, I got to accept your God. Who can answer these questions? It's like, you're asking me to science now is still trying to answer these questions. What makes me, lowly me, able to answer what happened before the universe? It's stupid.
Yeah, I was listening to the debate when you were talking to him last night. I listened to one of the ones where you were just sitting there, like little Alex was in there, and you were talking to Alex, and then all the other guys in their Antonio's room were in there, and they were just pretty much just thinking they were destroying you, but you're just like you were just doing what you do. It was great, but yeah, I love it when what I want to do is get Alex alone and be like, Alex, man, you're so smart. Please get out of here.
We'll be able to do that. Yeah, no, we'll have our conversations with him. He's supposed to have a conversation with me on his channel about young Earth creationism.
Yeah, he's so like he knows he's smart. He's a very intellectual kid.
But very misguided, because if you listen to the him speak the other day, Scott, I got to go eat dinner, by the way. You were listening to him the other day in the live feed. A lot of people were just going, "Yeah, Alex, you're a smart kid, but you're making some very fundamental problems. So very fundamental errors." Because I don't think he's well versed in argumentation and philosophy. I think he just knows how to parrot things, and he does that exceptionally well. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
Well, it's the same thing Darwin's does. Who's he parrot? What's the name of the guy that he parrots like word for word? Yeah, it's like the exact same thing.
Yeah. I just got confirmation a little while ago. This Friday we're having a couple special guests on. I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know Scienticia Perceptium? That's the name. Ring a bell. Some of you guys might.
No.
Really smart guy. He's a teacher. He's been in the great debate community for a while. He has these debates with this guy named Joe a lot, Joe Kudlitsky. And Joe is a dishonest young Earth creationist. I mean, just an outright dishonest creationist. And they're going to both come on my channel on Friday to kind of have a discussion with each other again. And the last time I saw them do this, it was brutal because Joe is just so fundamentally stupid. But he has a pretty big following, amazingly. So thought you guys might want to know that. It's going to be at, I think, what time did we decide on? I think 6 o'clock on Friday, but I'm not positive yet. So I'll get you more details on it. But if you guys know Scienticium, Baron knows who he is. Yeah, Scienticium is a really good debater and explainer, like Baron von Quipley said. Yeah, I really like him. Him and I get along exceptionally well. And I was just talking to him the other day, and I said, dude, when are you going to make this happen again on my channel? He's like, fuck, let's do it, man. Let's get Joe and come on there. Let's expose him on your channel. I got a much bigger audience than he has. And I was like, let's do it. I'm down.
Hey, matter of fact, did you guys see G-Man on the Atheist Experience again? He went on the Atheist Experience on Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, and I tweeted to them too. Yeah, he was because Russell Glasser said, I don't know who this guy is, G-Man, but he's obviously a twit or something.
Yeah, he used his real name.
And I said, dude, you don't even know how much of a twit G-Man actually is. Trust me. Watch these videos. And I sent him some Site 10 videos and one of mine. We'll see if he reads or watches them, or reads the tweets. But yeah, he's like, this guy's a twit.
Yeah. I mean, he really thinks he has it with that atheist thing. It
is so dumb.
If you believe in a tree, you're not an atheist. I don't understand. I don't understand this argument.
That is ridiculous. Okay, fine. Trees are going to God.
Well,
he doesn't. Go ahead.
The argument, his argument is, and to be flushed out, is that some people worship trees. So if you believe in trees, then since people believe trees can be gods, then you believe in a god, which is their tree, and that's why you're not an atheist. So there could be no atheists if you believe in trees, which is a ridiculous argument. But that's dumb. It flushed out.
Yes, that's exactly it flushed out. It's stupid. Look, people can acknowledge trees exist, and if somebody wants to say, "Hey, this tree is my god," go for it. Knock yourself out. Doesn't mean that I accept it as a god. Doesn't mean that I even believe natural gods exist. I think the term naturalistic God is just a very colloquial descriptor of something. It doesn't make anything a deity or deify anything. So when he's saying, well, these people believe God, either trees are God, and you believe trees exist, ergo you're not an atheist. No, you believe trees exist, but you're not acknowledging that they believe that God exists, or you don't accept. You're acknowledging that, but you're not accepting that person believes that tree is a god, right? So if I believe, that this is a god, Tony, you don't have to believe what I believe. That doesn't make you, responsible for what I believe. So if I believe it's a god, and you say, well, Steve, I believe that you believe it's a god, but to me, it's not a god. How the fuck are you no longer an atheist?
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know where this guy's message. I don't know where you're sending me this message at.
Yeah, I would love to be in the room because I know he was.
Argument even entertained in the first place.
Yeah, I'm sure it's him and Veckel just like hashing it out. It's like, what we need, hey Veckel, what we need is a new argument. Come on, man, let's brainstorm together.
No, he's been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
There's nothing new.
This is a brainchild that came up with it. So like, bam, we got him. And they just keep regurgitating it out all the time.
Well, I think what's scary is that people on the other side are going, yeah, G-Man, that's such a good argument.
For real.
Like, no, it's so bad.
I
can't find this guy, Justin. I don't know why.
I'll just go back to, you are who you hang out with. That's all. That's my argument against them because, I mean, there's some foul people in that group, man. There's some foul people. And if you let your leader be Darwin, you got a problem anyway. You have no judgment. You have a judgment flaw.
But don't forget this, Darwin. The reason why, and hey, if I was on that side, I wouldn't want Darwin in all my hangouts because when you're getting kind of the smackdown theologically, it's good to have someone in there. Like a lot of times, I'll be in there, and we're like in truest empiricism's room, and if Darwin comes in here, we're like, go get him, Darth. Because it's kind of a pressure release. Let this guy do his thing, trip these guys up, and and we'll kick them out if they get too crazy with it. Because Darwin's is like a saving grace, He's like, oh, this guy, it works for us.
Okay, I can dig that. Yeah, I see exactly what you mean there. Yeah, because then they'll just sit in the back and they're like the volleyball team. They're the background. If the ball comes my way, I'll hit it back over to you.
It's more or less exactly. It's support, and then you'll start seeing like when you start challenging companies' points, then you'll see the support team come in. Well, hey, that doesn't make any sense. Instead of understanding the argument, I think flush for themselves. But I do think, let's say for instance, when you talk about, like evolution, true empiricism, he has his own little spill. He says the same thing over and over again, and he'll never get past that. And the same thing with Antonio with abortion. He has kind of his same spill. But I think when you get into, does God exist? I think both of them may be a little bit out of their element and kind of rely on Darwin's argument to push everything forward. Where'd Steve go? Steve dropped out?
No, continue on. I'm typing something real quick.
Hey, when's the debate happening? Or not the debate, when's the Brian coming on? Sorry.
5 o'clock tonight, Pacific time.
I got to make dinner real quick, so I'll listen and jump in and out here and there. But
so that's 2 hours. 2 hours away for you, right, Steve? Because 8 o'clock. It should be 8 o'clock Pacific Eastern time.
2 hours, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's only 6 o'clock. Okay.
Hey, Greg Brahe liked one of my comments on my Facebook. You guys remember Greg Brahe? Bray, sorry, Greg. Why do I keep calling Brahe? It's Bray. I know how to pronounce his last name. Greg Bray. You guys remember him?
No.
He's an old timer too. Greg Bray was back in the day of early YouTube. He was one of the people that debated Ken Hovind. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So he just like that thing I had said about the wheelchair. He liked that post, and I think it is kind of interesting to point out that here's a Christian museum that's charging for a wheelchair. I find it to be sick. I don't know why. Yes, Blue, you can get a link. Oh my God, poor Blue.
Blue, you're my boy, Blue.
I love Blue. People are so mean to Blue.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I like Blue. I've never had a problem with Blue.
Yeah,
So
him and
cool
me.
to me.
Yeah, him, just Darren, and me were talking shit to Von Halen, or whatever. Van Halen. I must want to say Van Halen.
Von Halen.
Von Helsing. Yeah, just Darren.
Well, you know Von Helton actually founded Von Halen. You know that, right?
Of course, And Frost is his dad, and Jack Frost is his cousin.
And I think he played for Metallica for a few years.
Yeah, Santa Claus is his great grandpa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Easter Bunny.
You guys are crazy.
Just ask Von Halen, man. He'll tell you the shit.
It's like any name you pop up, I know him. He's related to me.
Dude, I am not fucking lying. I swear to you. Listen here, people. This is the honest truth. I know you guys think I'm the biggest liar on YouTube, but this is the truth. Jungle Jargon once said that he was related to Noah, to Cain, to Abel, to who else? Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
And Caesar.
What?
Yeah. Oh, no. It gets better, right? It gets better. Do you know how he determined he was related to all these people?
You gotta tell us. You gotta tell us.
Theology.com.
Ancestry.com.
Ancestry.com.
You cannot make this shit up.
Oh, that's classic.
I'm not lying to you.
That's good times for the whole family. That type of wow, where am I? What world am I living in? Yeah.
I better try that site as well.
For real, right? I might be able to get some money. Genghis Khan's my dad.
I could trace my lineage all the way back to Noah from Ancestry.com.
Yeah, so that means there was an Ancestry.com person back then. Okay, yep, there's a jargon back here. An Amazonian Noah.
Oh, God. It really hurts, but it's so funny. How does Jungle Jargon think that this doesn't even make sense to him?
I don't know. So many of them lie, like just blatant lies too, where you're like, I could easily find out that that's a lie. I don't think they even care if you confront them about lying, right? I mean, it's just them. They're just so mental that I think they could justify anything in their brain. Well, yeah. Then they just say, "Where's the proof? Do you have proof? If you don't have proof, shut up." Like you're supposed to have it on deck.
Tony, you're just an object credit giver, so you have no morality and no foundation to stand upon. So
give me proof of that. Where's your proof? I need video proof. I need time-dated stamps.
I have the Bible. What do you got? Yeah,
.com only ever does like European ancestry.
I don't know. Lamed says Jungle Jargon is the poster boy for not sticking crayons too far up your nose as a kid. Oh, he got them up deep.
Oh yeah.
I think a couple colors are still penetrating the medulla oblongata. What the hell it is.
Yeah, he's got a royal blue stuck in his friggin' nasal passage.
He's got some those little army toys called army men stuck up there. Yeah, Lamet says he can trace his ancestry back to Lucy. Hey, Blue.
Parts.
Hello, Steve. Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
Sorry you had to watch that on Jason Burns in here the other day.
I've still got to go through it. I haven't done the real work yet.
We have somebody doing the same thing for Matt Slick, by the way. Harry Alexander just joined the Great Debate community, and he's going to be running the Slick Report or something like that.
I actually had fun doing that Jason Burns thing the other day.
Everybody really enjoyed it. Everybody thought that we
except him.
Well, hang on. Everybody said that we handled it really well, except for one person, Joe McDropout, had actually commented something like really rude. But I think he removed that comment, so I don't know if he's trying to make amends for it.
But someone else said it. It felt like they were clearly picking on somebody who was, the old. He's clearly mentally ill and a half.
Clearly mentally ill. But you know what? He's going to put himself out there. He's not going to be treated with kid gloves. I'm sorry. He's just not.
Exactly. You come into this hangout, the most insulting thing I could ever do would be to treat you differently.
Damn right.
Thank
you.
As anybody else.
That's the only people I treat differently is Blue because Blue's a little special.
Watch it. Stop it. Stop it.
Nice to him. We all think slowly for Blue.
Yeah. You know how scared people. I can't believe how scared people are of me. Because everybody knows not to message me on Saturday when I'm doing my Jason Burns report. Unless Jason Burns is on air, then of course you can message me. It's okay. Steve didn't message me. Sock account didn't message me. All you motherfuckers who saw Jason Burns didn't message me. Well, except for one person.
I thought you were in the live feed at the time. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. You're always in the live feed.
Excuse me.
We got 50 people watching right now. That's not bad, and this isn't even the actual show. Wow. So,
are you going to create a new hangout?
It is pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to create a new hangout.
Okay.
But you're going to stop this one in about an hour?
Less than that. I'm probably going to wrap this one up in about 30 minutes. But I was just kind of curious how many people remember the Rational Response Squad. I am reaching out to older. I'm reaching out to older YouTubers and YouTubers.
Yeah, that's.
And I had some response. So I am getting guests on.
I remember the Blasphemy challenge for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had Vadim on the other day. That was pretty awesome, wasn't it? Creationist Cat.
Well, yeah, every week.
That was good.
It was cool.
Yeah,
you're really getting some good hangouts coming on, Steve.
I can't get Jacqueline Glenn though. I don't know why. Except for the fact
Isn't she getting a boob job? She's getting a boob job, so she needs to. Oh, she already got it.
She already got it.
Maybe you should count your blessings there, Steve.
I still want to have her in here once. I don't know why. I don't agree with her on a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong, but she is influential and she's popular. So.
Isn't she with that social repost guy or whatever his name is?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. She's been hanging out, or at least talking about Onisia an awful lot, and I don't know why.
I think you don't like her because she's a full social justice warrior.
Oh yeah, that bugs
100%.
the crap out of me. That bugs me. She's a feminine social justice warrior.
Well, that doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me was that goddamn plagiarism and then not copying to
that
it.
Too. Yeah, that
Jason
too. Brand account says, I'd be more impressed if Steve got someone really important like Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron is not really important.
He's not coming on the show.
I actually have tried to get Kirk Cameron, and now that we have Brian come on, maybe we can get Kirk. But I have tried to get Kirk Cameron. But he doesn't respond.
I would just ask questions about growing pains. That's all I'd ask. That's all I'd care about. So.
Yeah.
That might be a bad subject because this guy, the dad, just died, right, from growing pains.
Yeah, like 2 months ago, Alan Thicke, yeah. Well, I mean, Kirk Cameron got his girlfriend. I mean, she wasn't his real girlfriend, but the girlfriend that played. The girl that played the part of his girlfriend in Growing Pains got her fired because she had posed for Playboy. He was just a little prick. I mean, do you guys ever see the video Cock? Child actors against Kirk Cameron, I think it's called. You ever seen it?
That's awesome.
Oh, let me put this in the live feed. I have the top comment on this particular video at one time. I don't know if I do any longer.
What was
Let me see
your
if I can
comment?
find this video. I said I was something like I was too young to be a child actor. I'll never be famous or anything like that, but I want to be an honorary cock. Something. Let me see if I can find this video.
Man,
So
I do not have much weed left. Oh.
Let me see if I can find this where you guys do that. So I found videos that talk about it, but I can't find the actual video anymore. Where do I find this cock video at? Oh, here we go, original video.
You just like saying cock.
Yeah.
I do like saying cock.
And the
I am a cock.
His sister's a big evangelical too, right? Candace Cameron.
Yeah. My video, mine's not the top comment anymore. It's up there. It wasn't that many likes. It was only like 16 likes, 17 likes, something. But I mean, the highest is only 50. So what does that tell you? But here, watch this video when you get a chance, guys. It's fucking hilarious.
I like that Side 10 Atheist, the animation he did for Jacqueline Glenn. That was great.
I gotta watch that. I gotta look at that.
That's not the right video.
Man, I'm
What's
driving.
that?
This guy almost hit me. Fucker. I'm about to get a fight over here.
What'd you say, Tony?
I'm driving and some asshole just fucking cut in front of me. Maybe it's my fault, but I'm blaming him.
Let him live, Tony. Let him live.
Hilarious is having a video. Hilarious is having a hang out on the kidman in the government. Okay, whatever. He's got Tommy Hall in there. Yay! You go, boy.
The what in the government?
Kidman. You know, the African Egyptian.
Oh, okay.
Whatever the hell it's called.
Never mind. Never mind.
But this video is funny as shit. It's child celebrities opposing Kirk Cameron. CCOKC, Kirk or Cock. You know, they really excoriated him and they just basically rip him to shreds. But he's a kind of an asshole. I'm going to ask Brian about that video. If you've seen that video.
Well, do you see the picture? Do you see the picture that when you go Rational Response Squad against them, the picture it shows that pops up? He's looking at Sarah's tits in the picture, like staring at him. He's a pig.
Well, that's relieving. At least that's natural. First natural thing I saw that guy do.
Cookie Monster stares at women's tits. I mean, come on, everybody does.
Yeah, Sarah's hot. She is hot. I won't bring it up though. I won't bring it up. Aren't they together?
Oh, cookie.
Yum, yum. I got cookie. You got milk.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
Which Skylar's on right now? Because I'm running Publix right now. That's funny.
Oh, cookie starts with weed.
This is Publix, guys. See?
Oh, what the hell is that?
This is Publix.
You're at the store. You're at the Walmart.
No,
At
this
the
is
grocery
Publix.
store. Publix, okay.
Yeah, it's Publix.
So many people messaging me, but nobody wants to come on in.
What's with these people?
I don't
You
know.
got all these people
Usually I
watching,
can't.
all these people in the chat.
But usually I'm fuller than hell, right? I have to like actually make room for people. But
Right.
60 people watching too, and it's just basically me, Blue, and Tony in here, and then Eulogy will say something every so often. Eulogy. I don't know. I keep saying
Tell me
Eulogy.
what's up with that
Eulogy.
picture. That's all.
What is the picture you got there? Kim Young.
Hell,
Kim has threatened Australia with a nuclear attack. In retaliation, Australia has prepared the combat wombat, and you're fucking new now, Kimbo. That's cool. Yeah, combat wombat. Okay.
well,
You
we
know,
don't-
why would he attack Australia? What the
Really.
fuck is military to gain by attacking Australia?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Well,
true.
you get control of all the kangaroos. You're good.
Yeah, he can't hit the United States. Maybe New York at best with the tip dong thing, whatever it is for, but pom dong missile.
Yeah, I think they're all empty. I think it's just green tubes.
Yeah, that
No,
would be
Steve-
funny.
Forgive me. This is just my suggestion. I wish you would do, like you did the other week, a political hangout every now and then. I thought your North Korea hangout was very good and very
Thank you. I liked it too.
got a lot of views, as I saw.
It did. It
Yeah,
did.
I was going to bring that up. We should have more political stuff. Like,
We do every so often, like we did before the election, like when Pruden and I were talking, and that, by the way, was an amazing hangout because that was during the election, and we were just inundated with people. So people were watching the election live, but they were actually watching our coverage of it rather than the actual fucking news. You know? And I think we did a really good job.
yeah, that's cool.
You know, I regret. I hate to say it, and I know this is going to sound pretty shitty. I kind of regret not saying that I should have predicted Trump to win, because my gut kind of told me that he would, and I always said he had a hell of a chance. I know I said, well, probably Hillary will win. I was going by the statistics. I was going by all the reports that you got to factor them in, right? You can't just say, you know what, I'm going to ignore all these different polls, because then you're ignoring reality. But the polls were incredibly wrong, right? And even though I had a visceral feeling that Trump was definitely a possibility of winning, I should have been more emphatic about that, and that's the only thing I regret. So, But I did tell you he'd be doing a shitty job once he got in, right? I made sure you guys realized that, right?
Yeah. I picked up a win, but no one was around to listen to me say it.
Did you?
To myself,
You weren't the only one. There's people that predicted the win. And I wasn't against it. I never said, "Oh, you're crazy for thinking Trump can win." Oh, hell no, because I was thinking the same thing. He probably definitely could, but I was looking at the polls, and I really had to just go by that. So I don't feel bad that I made a bad prediction. Everybody else kind of did too, but I do wish I could have changed that.
Well, it is against Bernie.
Jeff Heisenberg, he called it exactly, and like a full 2 weeks before the election, he said it'd be very close, but Trump would probably pull it through.
Is that the professor?
College.
Is that the professor that's been right every year for last or every election for last?
No,
like, 10 elections?
Just my friend from Northern Ireland, but he was the only one who called it. I certainly was surprised, didn't expect it. I didn't know you guys hated social justice warriors that much. America.
Oh yeah, I hate them. I cannot. And again, let me clarify for people that listen that don't know me. I only refer to social justice warriors are the batshit social leftists, people that want to shut down conversation. They want to limit speech. They're just radicals. That's what I refer to as social.
I agree, and I despise these clowns on the left too. I really do, and it's nothing new. These radical types have been around for a long time. My only fear is that, Steve, what's the difference between a basic liberal like you or me? Forgive me for assuming, or somebody who is liberal and somebody who is a social justice warrior.
I'm only a social liberal. I am actually a fiscalist conservative. Okay, so I'm a moderator for if you want to do the analysis. Right, I'm just right of center to moderate when I do my tests. But
I have a more important question for Steve.
Hang on, let me answer this first about what he asked.
Yeah, how would you distinguish a regular
typical liberal? I think most liberals want certain things to happen. I just don't agree with their methodology to get there. Right, they want people to be fed. They want people to have clothes. They want people to have health care. They want the poverty level to go down and unemployment to go down. I get that. I think most liberals have really good hearts. I think they just go about policies that actually have the most opposite effects than what they want, because I don't think most liberals think things through. But the social justice warriors, they are just an extreme form of it, where they literally have such bad policies that the only way they can get their policies through is to stifle anybody else who criticizes them. That's the difference.
And they're scary and they have blue hair.
By the way, that was a damn good answer, wasn't it?
Yeah, not really, but
a lot of syllables in it.
That's always good, and it doesn't really describe what a liberal is in Europe either.
No. This is America shit. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, JD.
It's the same as you don't understand the meaning of the word socialist. But
yeah, we're Americans. We don't understand a lot of words. we hijacked the English language and then butchered it to our own needs.
Yeah, but you still let us win at Scrabble because we use more letters, so that's cool.
That's true. We do. Yeah.
Me at Scrabble. I mean,
well, you. How many points is you? 1. JD, are you ignoring me or what?
Totally. I just got home from New York, so I'm still
I'm having a huge atheist on the day. I thought of you because you're the atheistic current leader. So
I'm the atheist pope. I'm the atheist pope. Yeah. I've been telling you.
Shit. What direction are you in so I can put my prayer mat in that?
Link to my Patreon for everyone watching. Give me all your money.
I got a message from JD today because I was a Patreon for JD. I got my first Patreon message. I was so happy. He said, "Thanks for being a Patreon."
Fuck off.
Yeah, you're not getting any more, by the way, just so you know. That was it.
Sorry.
He's like, talking shit Tuesday, yay.
JD's the owner of the Atheists?
He's the Pope.
He's the owner and the owner of the okay, I get it. So we got 2 owners on here.
I have 2 people on Patreon though. It's JD and Drag, and the reasons being is one, JD, I like talking shit Tuesday, even though I'm not on it that much because it's so hard to get a word in edgewise.
You have, on more and more.
I always invite me. Yeah, no, I mean JD always invites me. I can go on any time. That's not a big deal. But it's really hard. You have a lot of A personalities that like to talk forever, and I don't, unless I'm on my own channel. But it's just I have nothing to add with the political type stuff or you guys just get in some conversations that I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So whatever. But I like the show. I do listen. And then Drag, because he's just been such an honest, awesome guy to me, and I want to support his biology stuff. So
school.
Well, chemistry.
What's that?
I thought he was a chemistry student.
Biology.
Oh, he's biology?
Yeah.
Or is it a double major sort of thing?
No, but you have to study chemistry for biology.
Oh, yeah. That's,
Any
okay,
STEM
my mistake.
stuff, you got to take certain classes.
Right. He had to take those chemistry classes first. You're right. My mistake. Okay. Good looking out.
Did Heretic not pay attention? He says, Steve claiming he doesn't like to talk constantly. Not on Talking Shit Tuesday. How often do you?
You did.
What's a long? Go, you know what?
Yeah.
On my show, yeah. But on Talking Shit Tuesday, go find the longest contiguous thing I've ever said, and I bet it's less than a minute. Go find it. Go. I bet it's less than a minute. Is we having phone issues again? Blue dropped out.
No,
Anyways,
Blue, I think
JD,
you're
are you
right.
going to join us for the Brian the Sapient? Do you remember him?
Who?
Brian Sapient from the Rational Response Squad. He started the Blasphemy Challenge years ago.
The only thing I really know about him is I saw the Ray Comfort, Kirk Cameron thing. He was the guy on the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him. I know him only through that so far.
Okay. Do you think
that a
they
good
did a
thing?
good job against Ray?
I think he was hitting an awfully soft target, but
Sure.
as much as he did, I mean, he didn't have much to do given who he was with. Ray lied to get on the broadcast. Like, we're going to provide evidence of the Bible. And then he gets up there and doesn't do that. He says, we're going to prove this without using the Bible. And then he gets up and quotes the Bible. So
yeah,
Ray lied for publicity.
Go figure.
Quick question. Is that the guy that had the female partner on that panel who was amazingly smart, witty, intelligent, and funny?
Yeah, she no longer does it. She actually is an adult film star now.
What? No one told me this. Who is she again?
I'm not going to tell you her real name. Or her I'll tell you JD off air or something, but I'll do it
Put it
after.
to side chat. I won't tell anyone.
Yeah, I'll do it after
She was actually
I don't want that to really be
smarter
brought up
than
as an
the
issue with, when Brian is on. I mean, it's out there, right? It's not a big secret, but yeah, that's what she does now.
Who cares? Well, obviously, there's some people that do care, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, she more than proved herself to me in that debate because I actually think she was the much better debater out of the pair of them.
She's smart. Yeah. Who says I'm on stimulants? Stuart, I will find you. I don't have a lot of money, but I do have is a unique set of skills. I will hunt you. I will find you. I will eliminate you from
an
the
Irish
internet.
accent. Sorry.
I don't need stimulants. Oh, somebody says she doesn't do porn anymore. I don't know if she does it anymore. That's what she was doing, but who knows? So is JD. I won't tell you his screen name either.
Rod Hardway.
The atheist anal intruder. Come on, JD. You would have made a good point.
I've now found out everything I need to know about who you're talking about and what you're doing. So, hey, well, good for her.
Awesome. Well, I mean, it's yeah, well, you know, people got to do what they got to do. I'm not against adult film, so I would be horrible at it, so whatever.
Put it this way, if I did adult films, they'd be very short.
They'd be very short films. Yeah, it's an adult short film.
But would film it in black and white to give it that, you know, cinema noir kind of feel.
I like noir.
I gotta head out. I got all kinds of more stuff to do. I'll see if I can get back.
So you're not gonna join me for the hangout at 5 o'clock?
I'm not gonna be here. So yeah, sadly. The daughter's got. What are we doing again, honey?
Her field trip.
Oh yeah, daughter's got a field trip out to DC. Good for her.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Discuss it. So hey, I will watch it as soon as it's done, or maybe I'll tune in if I'm available. We'll see. See you guys.
TST tomorrow is on.
Oh God, yes, it's gonna be a great one. It's the we're all back from New York City edition.
Yeah, you know what? I am jelly that I couldn't.
Stories. I don't think you guys have the chess story alone will take up most of the hangout because it's so awesome.
I'm so weird, jelly that I couldn't meet you guys all. Obviously,
Did you say jelly? Oh my God.
I'm jelly. I'm jelly as hell, but I'm glad they had fun.
Can you believe that MP turned out to be a master chess player?
No, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, MP is smart
cool.
as fuck, right?
Yeah, that's just awesome. So anyway, see you guys there.
All right, bye, Didi.
I heard axe in there. Someone said axe. Truss, was that you?
Ask good question.
Yes. Yeah, I heard that, Truss.
All right, so guys, let me know if you want to be on this panel for Brian tonight. Again, it's only in 90 minutes or so, and I'm not going to keep this hanging up open too much longer. Even though I've got like almost 70 people looking at this, so 63 or something right now.
Well, I've got a quick short topic. I can't stay on long, but yeah, I was just sort of obviously been doing a few threads on G+. And I've kind of reverted my position. I actually think the person that we've been talking to is actually too moronic to actually hold a conversation of any sort. And it's really, I don't actually even think he means what he says. I think the guy's actually just a troll.
You talk about Quantum Eraser?
Yep. I wasn't even going to do the courtesy of mentioning his name, because I think that's all he's after. He's just after notoriety.
I want to hear it from you. There's a couple words that I love to hear. Yeah, and I'll give you an answer.
What? You're right.
Three little words. They're the three most powerful words in the human language. Do you know what they were? They are?
What's that?
You were right.
Yeah, I just said you were right. I said that before you even said you were right.
You?
I take it back. I apologize. And oh my goodness, what a troll!
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't even begin to tell you how dumb that guy really is. He actually has brainwashed that chick Betty, and Betty this morning had actually said, well, how do you use the scientific method to date rocks? She's like, what's your observation? What's your hypothesis? And I'm like, okay, look, we observed rocks. We hypothesized that the age of the rocks are old because of the way they're folded and volcanic activity. We do an experiment to determine the radiological date of these things. We repeat that experiment. We conclude that these rocks are very, very old. Just all this stuff, and she just doesn't get it. Still, she's like, doesn't understand scientific methodology because she listens to John, the independent variable quantum eraser guy. And this guy's so dumb, he doesn't even understand that time is an independent variable in most experiments. And he's like, time can never be the independent variable. I'm like, well, how can it not be? How could time not be independent? You have no control over time.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
No time, no causality for starters.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, he keeps quoting Niels Bohr as well, which bugs me, because I don't know if he's aware, but Niels Bohr actually did work with, I think, Charles Darwin's great-grandson or great-great-grandson. I think it's great-grandson.
Possible.
No, he did. It's quite well documented as he was going through the liquid drop experiment.
Liquid drop model?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I suppose you should say we don't control time, but we can control the factors of time. We do an experiment, like we control one thing for an hour, one thing for 2 hours. That's independent variable. But you talk about the liquid, like the oil milk can experiment, or the liquid drop model for atoms.
The liquid drop model for atoms.
Yeah, because that didn't last very long because it didn't work.
No.
And even the Bohr model doesn't work.
No, but I mean, the guy was definitely. He's from the point of view of being a very well recognized and successful physicist, he was both of those things.
Oh, sure.
It's just like most theorems in physics, you get supplanted sooner or later,
okay,
or
absolutely.
modified and changed.
All right. Anyways, I am going to bring this one to a close. Like I said, I wasn't going to have a very long hangout. I know we have like 60 people watching, but they can come back in an hour when we have Brian on. We are going to have Q&A. We're going to be just talking about the Blasphemy Challenge. We're going to talk about the Crocoduck. We're going to talk about how atheism and skepticism has changed, or if it has changed, is something that we can be concerned about the resurgence of things like flat Earth or younger creationism. So it's going to be a good hangout, I think. The guy's really nice. We talked considerably yesterday for about 40 minutes. He was very pleasant. I think he's looking forward to this. So if you want to be on the panel, message me on G+ or Facebook or whatever. I have 1,000 ways to contact me. Just let me know you want to be on the panel. I'm giving preference to skeptics first, and I have reasons for that, but that's only like initially. So not so much atheists, but skeptics. But of course, MP wants to join. Tony wants to join. Skylar might be busy. He said. And who was the other person I wanted to join? There's somebody else. Anyways, guys, so meet back with me in hour and 30 minutes, so 90 minutes, guys, and hopefully we'll have a good hangout. Sound good?
Sound good.
Awesome. All right, so see you guys then.
Take care.